Hey everyone, Matt Pisarcik from RazorEmporium.com. Today to talk about another razor in history on our archive series, the Big Fellow. You may have heard about it, you may have seen it. It was one of Gillette's biggest razors ever made. This razor came out around 1919 and was part of a move by Gillette to make razors for more than just one person. So they had their standard single ring razor rocking throughout the teens. They had a ladies' razor, but then they also had this big fat machismo kind of muscle man razor. And I don't mean that lightly, I mean that seriously. If you look at the advertisement, look back in the history, Gillette was talking about the kind of razor for the working man, the man with the real man's job, the man with the real man's fist. I mean, they showed ads of guys with big hands and big biceps holding this razor. It was twice the size, twice the weight of their standard razor, and that was really its selling feature. So to compare the two different Big Fellow models, you have the original old type with the curved guard, open comb, and stabilizer pins, whereas the latter new improved style is going to have the flat top guard, open comb, and stabilizer pins. So they do look very similar, but just look at the guard for that distinction between curved and flat. Curved is going to be the teens, flat's going to be the 20s. Both are going to be serial numbered, and you can find that serial number here on the razor guard, and that's going to tell you the exact number in production and the year of production, and you can decode it using our chart at GilletteDateCodes.com. But this razor set was put up into a gumwood style box, and it was offered in both silver and gold plated. Silver for $5, gold for $1 more, $6. In today's dollars, that'd be around $63. So you got to think about that. That's more expensive than a Merkur, more expensive than Edwin Jagger. So it's definitely kind of more of a premium razor, or on the way to premium. So one important thing to note about the Big Fellow is to consider the time it came out. This is at the end of World War I. A lot of people passed away. There's a shortage of workers. There's a surplus of work. So workers are being paid good money. So a coal worker or a railroad worker could afford a $63, in today's dollars, set like this. A working man could afford a premium razor. I think that's an important thing to note, because this market really kind of sprung about because of that time period. I don't know if you would have seen this kind of razor to be put out before then. And again, this came out 1919, first kind of put up for sale early 1920. Very interesting set. It looks so similar to a single ring. It's kind of like a jumbo version. It's got this long barrel that goes through a hollow handle, right? That actually provides a lot of the weight right there. And it's got the cap with the long stem on it. 3-piece design. Very, very classic. Today, still one of the most sought after Gillette razors, I would say. Everyone wants to have a Big Fellow in their collection because it is so nice. It has a thicker handle, but also a longer handle. So, I mean, I love the weight and the balance on it. You hold it up to your face, it feels so nice, honestly. But these razors, again, I mean, one big selling feature, not only just the razor for the macho man, the razor for, the guy with the big hands, the big fist, and everything like that. They really stressed the fact that this was a no frills razor, meaning it wasn't in this fancy leather case. It wasn't a wooden case, more utilitarian. It didn't have any chrome. It didn't have any kind of these delicacies that were gonna make it, wear or whatever, or break down. In fact, the gumwood case itself is kind of its own little story, with the fact that during this period of time in the early 20s, there was a strike on the railroad, and Gillette couldn't get this wood to be delivered, so they had to go through some back alley, processes and kind of use their influence and kind of classify the wood as perishable, so it would get through the strike and have to be pushed through. That's the only reason you see these gumwood boxes today. So not only just the razor is historic, but the case itself. Now, finally, on our rarity scale, again, 1, you can find this anytime you go to an antique store. 5, it belongs in a museum, as Indiana Jones would say. I would put this at the middle to the middle top of the range, maybe 3.5 to even maybe 4.5. Again, if you just find the razor itself, a big fellow, you'd be pretty, that's a great day. You're out antiquing and you find a big fellow, I would consider yourself lucky. If you find yourself a big fellow with the original box, original blade dispenser, and even original shipper container, you're in a great position. Especially if the serial number is matching. There's actually usually a serial number on these boxes. This one is so faded you can barely read it, but there is a slight number right here. So always look at the back side. But yeah, these are beautiful sets. Always one of my favorite sets to pick up. The classic design. They do have the flaw, like a lot of other ones do, where the teeth can be bent. This one, in fact, in my own collection here, looks like one of these teeth out here on the outer end is actually bent, and that happens. People drop it and it gets bent. Can we bend them back? Not reliably. A lot of times you try to bend it and it just breaks off, then it's worth $0 versus at least partially something. The other major problem, just like the single ring and the ball and old type, the handle is pretty prone to having a fracture or crack going through it. That just has to do with the design. You're taking this big threaded barrel down here and you're tightening it up against this hollow tube, and it's going to create some stress on the metal. So that can happen. And again, it's not usually something we can repair. In most cases, it just breaks again. But that is the Gillette Big Fellow. If you've seen one, now you know more about them. If you haven't, welcome to Big Fellow. We hope you enjoyed today's video, and we hope you come to Razor Emporium for all things vintage shaving. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications when we put out a new video for you, our customer. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.